Rieger.
Here. Here.
Here.
I do. Audra Kirk with Community Development. Good evening. Before you tonight is case VAR 2017-010. This is a variance to increase the height of a detached garage from a maximum 16 foot to 18 feet. This property is zoned R2A and is right across the street from Cherry Hills Alta, or Alta Cherry Hills, I'm sorry, which is directly to the north of it. To the east, west, and south is also the R2A zone districts. According to county records, this main structure was built as 8 units in 1940, and that's prior to it being annexed into the city in 1946. Currently, there is an existing garage that is dilapidated and not being utilized by the tenants. Although the existing structure is built at property line, the new structure would adhere to all setback and size regulations of the UDC. And you might notice at this time that the proposed structure is at 1428 square feet, and our maximum is 1,000. However, the 420 square feet over is allowable according to Table 16-6-1.2 of the UDC that states combined maximum total floor area of all garages and carports shall not exceed 1,000 square feet per unit. Does this mean that the applicant could put up an 8,000 square foot garage? Yes, it does. However, they still would have to meet the maximum lot area. And that is why he's built this garage to 1,428 square feet, because he does not want to exceed the maximum 40% lot coverage. So the request tonight is really from a maximum height of 16 feet to 18 feet. And the main reason he's doing that is for the topography of the lot, at the rear lot where he's planning on placing this garage. There were 2 late, and I will submit these to Nancy for the record, 2 late neighbor notifications that have come in. And actually I should show, I think I can do this. No, now this doesn't work. So there's 2 neighbor notifications. One of them was from 3701 South Lincoln Street, which is directly across the street from this property. The other is at, as you can see, 3701. I don't even know. Oh, that works. 3701. And the other one is at 3708. And then this up here is the Alta Cherry Hills, which, of course, is built out now. We just have old aerials. Oh, there we go. And so there's a better aerial of the photo of the property and the existing garage right here as it is, and it stands on property line down here. The proposed garage at 1,428 square feet, and he does spell out on that the maximum lot coverage. He is under it by a square foot, but he is still under it, so he's under the 40%. And the rest of these are elevations showing the topography. And these right here are the existing garage as it stands today. So, I don't know. Whoops, of course I did that. Well, we're just going to leave it. Does anybody have any questions for me at this time?
The proposed or the request in the packet I have says the request is for 16 feet to 20 feet, but you said 18.
Well, I guess I should make sure I'm looking at the same stuff. You know, you are right. I am sorry.
Okay.
That I don't know why I said 18, but the variance request is from 16 feet to 20 feet.
Okay.
else? Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Sure.
The applicant may come forward to testify. Please state your name, address to the secretary, administer the oath.
Do you swear or affirm that the penalties of perjury that you tell the truth?
Good. Gary Oberg, 2643 South Cremeria Street, Denver, Colorado 80222. All right, thanks you guys for coming tonight. I feel like a lot of attention from me, so appreciate your time. Yeah, I'm going to be closing on this property on Tuesday, and my understanding that I think a lot of this, what Audra went through already, is it was built in the 40s for 8 units, and at that time they constructed, or close to it, 7-car garage. So there are 3 garages facing the alley. It's an L shape, and then 4 facing Kenyon. Okay, and over the years, the alley somehow has been graded down. It keeps going down, so it's 22 inches from the alley up to the slab of the garage in about 4.5 feet. So it's impossible to get a car, maybe an ATV into it. But that's about it. So really the garage is inaccessible to even get into it. So one of the things I'm planning on doing is with the slope of the lot, you have about a 5-foot elevation in the backyard going up from Kenyon up to the neighbor's lot, is to go in and take the garage down to the alley level, which gains 22 inches, almost half of the 4 foot that it would be sticking up if I kept the slab at the same level. So actually I'm going down, and it's only going to be 2 foot higher. And my last measurement, actually that drawing, I noticed of the elevation, it actually looks like it's going to be even or even a little bit below the neighbor's garage to the north. South. So I'm surrounded really. On the east side, I have an older garage that is going to be the same height. It's a kind of 2-story garage there. To the south, I'm going to be the same height. And then to the north, I've got about a 30-foot, still looking up at the apartments, Cherry Creek Apartments, that side. So definitely not going to be inhibiting at all. What I'm trying to do is facilitate getting as many, since I can't build, my original request building department was build it on the same footprint. Rebuild it since it's falling down and a disaster the way it is. As you can see, it's very beautiful. And anyway, to rebuild it on the same footprint, and they said no way because of the setbacks. It's really too close to the alleys, too close on the south, and it's too close to the sidewalk, so all the way around, it just doesn't work. So by allowing me to go up a little bit higher, that'll give me more storage room really on the second floor for the tenants. Right now, the tenants really have, I think the units are 325 square feet, so they really don't have much room even for a bicycle in their place other than that. So that's really the only neighbors I could find around are those 2 that Audra mentioned, 3701 and 3801, who own there, and they both were very excited about the changes that we're going to be doing, fixing up the property and all that. And then the other ones around 3716, 03, and 09 are all rental units. And then obviously the ones on the side of Kenyon are all rental units. And I'm sure the owner of that building, as well as the tenants, would love to have a different view down on a better structure, and won't even notice the difference tonight, I'm sure.
So is there only going to be an entrance off of the alley to this garage?
No, there'll be entrances off. Let's see, there'll be 4 garage entrances off the alley.
Okay.
And then 1 off of Kenyon.
Okay.
So we'll have parking too. Right now, there's really no off-street parking for the tenants at all, so they'll be gaining parking there.
How does the second floor work? You have a stair inside, accessible?
It'll be just a single door going in, probably off Kenyon, or maybe it'll even come in off of the back of the house off the west side. So there'll be a stairway going up there. Haven't really figured that out yet. Probably off Kenyon would maybe be the most logical.
Does everything drain north?
Everything pretty much drains north and east a little bit. Between the garages, there's 3 feet now. The neighbor, when he built his garage, has a 3-foot setback. Mine's right on there. So his lot is basically 5 foot higher, and it drains back into the garage the way it is now. So I haven't been in there when it rains, but I'm sure the positive drainage is into the garage.
So it looks like the main reason you're going up is twofold: one for the RV storage, and the second for the storage for the units.
Storage, and then RV also. Yes. And then there's just not what was my wife's idea. So coming in, you don't have a wide enough on that footprint to get 4 garages along the back. And then if we widened it out along the canyon, enough to put 2 garages coming in that way, you only have 16 feet, which isn't wide enough for 2 garages to come in that way. And if you go wider, then you exceed the square footage, the 40% square footage there.
But as you've got it designed, or as I'm looking at on these drawings, you'd have 4 off the alley,
Correct. Yep.
and then the RV off of Canyon. So that's really 5 spaces.
You'd have 5 spaces.
But the reason for the extra height is for the storage and for the RV. Otherwise, you could do it.
Above the 4-car garage is coming in off the alley. There's storage above that. And with
I'm just trying to understand what's driving the extra height. I mean,
Yeah.
you could in fact do it without the storage and without the RV and build it to the correct height.
if I went down, but then I'm limited to basically garages are 10 foot wide minimum in order to get a car in, and so I'd only have 4 garages on the alley and 1 space there, and then you don't have any storage for the tenants at all.
Understand that?
I'm losing.
But it looks like you would have the same garages. I mean, you'd have a 11-foot height on the alley then instead of a 15-foot height.
Right.
If you met zoning.
Yeah, I guess the other option too is I could have the height door for the RV and put a flat roof on, but then you're going to have a ugly flat roof and it wouldn't fit in with the neighborhood or anything else. Oh, and then the storage space then would have what, a 6.5 foot, no, probably less than that. You'd have 6-foot ceiling in the storage area above the garages. By the time you have a 12-inch for a floor and then 12-inch for the roof coming down, you've got 8, so you're 6 feet. It's all for head clearance there.
So here's the hard question for us and for you.
Sure.
What is different about your lot as compared to your neighbor that makes it necessary for you to have this increase in the usual height limit?
What's different is basically the slope.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the grading of the lot. If I was on a relatively flat lot, that would help. And then if you maintain the different elevations, my understanding is if you maintain with the slope of the backyard being 5 feet up, on that side of the garage, you aren't even hitting that full height. Okay. Because you're starting 5 foot high, so you'd have 16, you'd have 8 and 3. You're only 11 feet above the ground if you're standing in the backyard. If that makes sense. So
Okay.
Basically your two western corners, you're looking at 11 feet, and then your corner on your southeast corner, that would slope down to grade level, but you got 5 to 3 foot approximately going along that west property line. That make sense?
How much difference do you have in the alley? From the south end to the north end of the alley, how much does it fall?
I think that would be, I'm guessing that's that 22 inches in that area.
I think our issue is we're going to be discussing what the hardship is.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to get at that.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
What is the hardship in this case, other than you wouldn't get the storage or the RV height if you just dropped everything, including the roof slope?
The RV height as well as the storage area over the garages that I'm losing, not being able to gain that square footage that I would need. losing the setbacks is what kills me. On the south side, 3 feet, and then coming out in off the sidewalk. I can't remember what that is. If that's is that a 5-foot setback there too? I can't remember how that. On the off Canyon coming in that way, 3 feet. So 3 feet. So I'm losing. Right now, it's built out that entire width from sidewalk to property line. So I'm losing 6 feet right there. And which cuts into the width of the garages and what I can even put in there. So that's kind of the hardship that I'm running into, is trying to meet the current zoning, to build it, then plus get the fire separation to the neighbor's garage. Right now there's no fire separation there, no anything, but to build the code and operate, give a better looking building for the neighborhood. And then the other thing to consider is too, with the peaked roof, it's really not going to be 20 feet the whole width of it. It's only the middle part of it that's going to be extending above that. Make sense?
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Are there persons here who would like to speak in favor of this request? Please state your name and...
$3,700 South Main. 14 years I've lived here, and I love it. And I think any improvement to these garages would be less of an eyesore, because, as I said, everywhere I walk around Englewood, I pick up trash. I want my place to look nice, my city to look nice. So that's all I really have to say is it's a lot of old stuff there. Like there's an incinerator back there, which is really of no use to anybody. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions? I don't see any. We're good. Thank you. I don't see anybody else here to speak against it, so... any more staff comments? Further questions? Okay, I will close the public hearing and we can discuss amongst ourselves. Thoughts?
Yeah, motion. Okay. I move the let's see, that case VAR 2017-010 be granted a variance to increase the maximum height from 16 feet to 20 feet for a detached garage. Am I like extra loud today?
Is there a second?
Second. Holstrom.
So now discussion.
So I think we could grant it based on the elevation issues, but not on the storage basis. That's my starting point. I think that's maybe what you were getting at with the storage questions.
Yeah. I guess the RV and the storage unit are driving the entire building up. We don't necessarily have to approve RV garages, I guess. So I'm not quite sure what the hardship is on that one. The flip side is that everything around it is that height. We're definitely not changing the neighborhood at all if we allowed it.
So, Mr. Friesen, do you not see the elevation issue as a unique characteristic of?
Yeah, the grade
The grade,
issues.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm probably pretty close to being willing to accept that, but I'm still
Okay.
thinking it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm at the same place.
Any other comments?
Maybe from a neighborhood point of view, it seemed that since the roof lines will all be essentially the same, to the passerby, it's a transparent change to the neighborhood, and it actually makes the property usable. And the fact that you're sinking the slab basically a couple feet offsets half of the change. So to me, just being able to make that property usable and essentially transparent to the neighborhood works for me.
Yes, if there's no further questions or thoughts, I'll call for the vote.
Sorry. I voted yes. I believe the first criterion is met because of the elevation change across the rear portion of the lot, making this increase in height for the garage necessary for the applicant to gain the height that others in the neighborhood and in the zone area can use. The second criterion is met. It's consistent with the intent of the zone district to secure health, safety, and welfare. There are no issues with health, safety, or welfare. Third criterion, the variance will not permanently impair the use or development of adjacent conforming properties or alter the essential character of the neighborhood. The height is similar or the same to neighboring properties, and it's peaked, so it's not a continuous height. And the fourth criterion is the variance is not a self-imposed difficulty or hardship. It is not a situation where the applicant has brought this on himself.
I vote yes because I believe it's not going to have impact on the surrounding properties or the surrounding neighborhood, and I believe it's going to create value to that property. I believe it's going to create value for the tenants, and for the following reasons that were already stated.
I voted yes for the reasons stated.
I voted yes for the reasons I stated.
I also voted yes for the reasons stated. Thank you. Approval of last time's meetings. And I was not here, so.
Oh, I'll move something. I move that we approve the minutes from our last meeting. Do we have a quorum to vote enough?
How does that
Yes.
work exactly?
Dugan?
You have to do it another month.
Okay then.
I would think so. We have only, you'd have to abstain, you weren't here. Our alternate wasn't here.
Yeah.
That leaves 3 members present.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Is 4 enough?
Okay, that's fine with me. I could agree with that. Have you reviewed the minutes?
I have. So, nothing outstanding in them.
Okay, well then go ahead and vote.
I can go ahead and vote on it?
Yes.
Okay.
You've reviewed the minutes, and
All
you
right.
have said so on the record.
Yes, I have reviewed the minutes.
So we have a first.
Oh, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Yep.
Aye.
Aye.
4 votes carries it.
I move that we approve the findings of fact from the last meeting.
I hear a second.
Second.
And I reviewed those as well. They made sense, yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we approved that. Staff, have anything?
What's it about?
Something great.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's a case.
Another garage.
The case.
We get a lot of garages.
That's all I needed to know.
Anybody on the board have anything? If not, meeting adjourned.
What about
I
the
would love to
attorney?
have that.
Did he have anything?
What? Oh, I'm sorry. You know, that's not on the notes here. That ought to be filled
Okay,
in here.
that's all right. I'm good with that. Yeah.
So that's the Board of Adjustment.
Yeah, well, that's not in my cheat sheet here.
Well,
I just added it.
okay.